Hi everybody, my name is Terry. If you took one of my cooking classes last year, you'll know me as Popcorn, but I teach with the Pali Culinary Institute at the camp, and I have some helpers today. I wanted to introduce you to Jocelyn and Austin. Now before we got started today, we went and washed our hands. That's number one, the most important thing, because we're preparing food for other people, so we need to make sure that everything is sanitary and ready to go. We also checked our hair, got it out of the way. There's nothing worse than having hair in your food. And we checked our coats, make sure that we didn't have any cats or any other visitors that could also get into our food. Our ingredients today are 1 package of lasagna noodles, 1 pound of ground beef, 2 cans of the most basic pasta sauce, 8 cups of mozzarella, probably only going to use about half of that. We have ricotta cheese, parsley, Parmesan cheese, and we also have Mr. Honey Bear. We're going to start by cooking off our ground beef. All right, so come on over here, you guys. We'll get this started. Try not to drop the bowl in there. Okay, wonderful. And we don't want to touch ground beef. All of your ground meats can be kind of dangerous, so we have to be super careful. If you do touch them, you want to wash your hands again right away. We're just going to kind of smash it and break it up. And we're going to cook it well done. We always cook hamburger well done. This is our ground beef. No red in there. Now, here comes the fun part. We get to pour all this red sauce in here. All right, it's kind of heavy, so let me just start it. It's a very basic pasta sauce. You'll notice there's a lot of pasta sauces on the market. For today's sauce, I'm going to add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. This brings in a little bit of the salty flavor of the tomatoes. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of honey. When you work with tomatoes, sometimes you'll find that you need to add a little bit of sweetener to things. Just a little bit of honey in there. Maybe just a little bit more Parmesan cheese. That makes it just a really wonderful balance of sweet and a little bit salty and cheesy. So this is our sauce. Are you ready to layer some lasagna? It's like playing cards. They can overlap. Okay, now Jocelyn, why don't you come on in? Just pour this kind of over, and we'll smush it down in just a minute, okay? Okay, just really go for it. Keep going. Now, Jocelyn, with the back of the spoon, just take it and rub it all over the noodles. We're going to take a handful of cheese, and we're going to be very generous, and we're going to sprinkle it over the top. You know, the wonderful thing about lasagna, too, is you can add sauteed eggplant, sauteed zucchini. You can get a large amount of vegetables in here, so it's easy to make a vegetarian lasagna as well. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese is salty, giving us that tang that we need. Okay, here comes the hard part. This is the ricotta cheese. It looks just like cottage cheese. What we're going to do is we're just going to put some little patties of that all over. This one's hard to spread because once you do it, it's like frosting a cake and you lose everything on the top. So we're just gonna go through with little puffs of ricotta cheese. Again, the ricotta cheese is optional. Some kids don't like this. Jocelyn, you ready to layer? Okay. This is a great dish too to make lots of because this freezes really, really well. And who doesn't like lasagna? It's almost better the second day. Beautiful. Okay, what's next? You can just make sure it's real gooey and real wet. So it's going to cook the noodles. Good job. Doesn't that look good? So we can be as generous as we have cheese. We really have enough to make 2 very large lasagnas with this amount of cheese. Make sure you get it in the corners. In there. Do you know what's next?
Parmesan.
The Parmesan. Do you guys like ricotta? Really? So if you found one of those in your lasagna, you'd think it was good? Okay, do you think that's enough? Think we can do one more round? Okay, let's do one more. There we go. So we're just going to add a little bit of parsley to that. Parsley doesn't really have much flavor, but look how much fun that is. We've got red, white, and we've got green. Now we put it in the oven and we let it bake for about 45 minutes. Okay, here we go. We have a 3 cheese and meat lasagna. Remember I was telling you that green, how important it was? That the cheese was going to bubble all up? Ready for dinner?
Yes.
If
If you enjoy cooking, thought these kids were having fun, and you want to do the same, check out Pali Adventures Culinary Camp this summer. To learn more, visit paliadventures.com.